let's kick this thing off with the Sterling net point power rankings. Bam! Here you go, Ben. Now, we have switched back from averages to total numbers. And as I always say, I like to look at total numbers because sometimes the differences are much more stark. You can see the difference. I mean, it's kind of easy to see the difference between number one, Pittsburgh Steelers with 123 net points, and number 32, the New York Jets with minus 173 net points. So you can really see what's going on. And on your right-hand side, starting with number 17, you have all of the teams that are in the negative. The interesting point about net points is that you will have both negative and positive numbers. Most of the teams on the right are kind of out of the playoffs, but not all of them. Some of them are still in the hunt, as they say. So it's not completely over for these guys. And a number of teams have really moved up in the rankings. Last week, if we go to number 16, Washington, the Washington football team was actually in the negative, and they moved ahead, thanks to you, Mr. Dickerson, into the positive realm with +4 net points. The Atlanta Falcons under Raheem Morris have moved from being very negative. They were really just suffering on that negative side to the positive side. They've come over to the light from the dark side. You know what I mean? The Patriots, nothing like a 45-point win to move the net point needle.
Absolutely. If that doesn't move you, nothing will.
You know what I mean? Buffalo took full advantage of my Niners, and they're coming in at number 13 with +27 net points. A little bit behind the Seattle Seahawks at 12, and the Tennessee Titans at 11, the Arizona Cardinals at 36, all conspicuous playoff contenders. Number 9, you have the Indianapolis Colts with +55. Number 8, the Rams with +58. I'm going to stop there because the top 7 is really interesting to see if you have anything you want to mention about either this negative group over to the right here or the first, what would that be, 8 through 16 in the positive side.
Right off the top of my head, I will say that the Cleveland Browns, who are at -15, number 19 overall, and the New York Giants that are -34, number 22 overall, still, and there may be somebody else, according to somebody's opinion, but I believe that these two teams have strong chances of winning their divisions. So, if the Browns continue to play the way they've been playing, especially the way they played last week, and the Giants do the same, both of them have a chance to win their divisions. And of course, if you win your division, you will be in the playoffs. So even though they're in the negative, I like the way they're playing right now, and things are going to change for them, I believe.
Interesting thing about the Browns is that, let's see here, the Browns are 9-3, but they're still in the negative in terms of net points. That's very interesting. Basically, that means they took a few really big losses.
They took a couple of big losses. They played those 3 games in 3 consecutive weekends where the weather was extremely bad. They won 2 of them, lost 1, and both of the scores were close and low. So that didn't help them either.
Your Giants moved from 11th defensively last week to 9th defensively in the current week. So they've continued to move up, but guess who they're 1 slot behind?
You want me to guess?
Yeah.
Uh, one slot behind. We're talking about points against.
Points against.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say the Packers.
Uh, Actually, the Packers are 15th.
I was close.
No, you weren't. They are one. They are 5 points behind and one ranking point behind the Washington football team.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. People can
Right
say
there
what
in
they
that
want.
division, man. Yeah,
Hey, people can
sparks
say
are
what they want
flying.
about the NFC East. You can call us names. You can say what you want, but all of a sudden, everybody's talking about the NFC East.
Washington and your Giants played the NFC West, and we've been talking about that they were mirror images of each other.
Yeah, and it just so happens that that's their out of conference. I'm sorry, out of division games. So yeah, the NFC East is playing the NFC West this year, and that is very interesting. And the crazy thing is, the NFC West is almost as good as the NFC East is bad.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
like you
Now,
said, it's
thanks
almost
to the Bills, I can no longer claim that the NFC West has no negative net point teams. That's thanks to the Bills. My Niners are now in the negative at -3. So we're the only team in the negative.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, well, what can I tell you? The where did we stop at? We stopped
Stopped at 8.
at 8. So what about 9 or 8 through 16? What do you think about those guys? Anything to say relative to the
Uh,
rankings?
Nothing special. I mean, I could say something about each team, where I think they'll end up, or if I think they'll go up or down. I've looked at some of these schedules. New England seems to be surging. Atlanta showed a lot of life, but I don't know, these last couple of games are going to be tough on them. Washington's got a chance to win another one at least, as well as the Giants over on the other side. Seahawks got to wake up. Tennessee is acting really, really weird right now. Okay, they play one game where their defense is almost lights out, and then they come out the next game and can't stop a soul. I have no clue on that. Cardinals might be in a little bit of trouble. And that's why I was saying, don't worry about your Niners too much. I think the Cardinals are getting ready to fade. Something ain't right with Kyler Murray.
Well, he claims his shoulder's okay. When they asked him about it,
It looks okay when he throws, but how come he's not running anymore? He went from running quite a bit to not running at all.
well, I think some of it might be those defenses that we talked about last week. That template that the Patriots put up. Other teams are starting to copy that, and I think that's having an effect. You mentioned the Titans. I just want to mention that the Titans are 25th on defense, giving up 326 points. So that's definitely where we didn't think that the defense was going to be such a liability with the Titans. So when you say they're acting weird, you're absolutely right. Offensively, they're 4th. Yeah, so that's that deviation we talked about last week between some teams. Now the Titans are in that group with a 4th ranked offense and a 24th ranked defense. The Packers, as we talked about, 1st in offense, 15th in defense, and the main culprit was the Seahawks. They're 4th on offense, 22nd on defense. So you got a few of those teams. You also have a few teams like yours who are flipped, where on the offensive side, they're in the lower numbers. Both Washington, they're in that situation. They are 25th offensively, 8th defensively. And what did you guys? You guys are 30th offensively, and 9th defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But defense wins, man. And this is the time of year where those lines, defensive lines especially, start to dictate. Those lines that are successful defensively start to dictate wins and losses. So that's awesome. All right, let's wrap this up here. So we have the Rams coming in at 8th, as we said, with plus 58. The Buccaneers at plus 64 with 7th. And the Packers coming in 6th at plus 80 in the rankings. So now you're up to the top 5. Let's go 1 through 5. Steelers at number 1, even though they lost. Strong net points at 123 total net points over the season. Kansas City at 116 and the Saints at 106. And you'll notice an X beside the Chiefs and the Saints. And well, that loss must have really meant something. So the Chiefs clinch a spot and the Steelers don't. The Steelers were undefeated up to this particular point. So however that worked out.
Remember I said the Browns still have an opportunity to win the division.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. So that's the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings. Any last words on that?
No, I'm good.
Visit Sterling NPPR on Facebook, and you'll see all of the rankings, including I'll be putting up the internals on some of these numbers, points for, points against, and our favorite Todd turnover differential, which we include in the next section. The next section is going to be the Bias Plus reports.